Hey everyone, so now we're going to talk about nonmetals. Okay, nonmetals are a whole section of elements, and they should be some of your favorite elements because they are ones that make up the majority of your body. There's a lot of nonmetals in our body. There are some trace elements of metals in our bodies, like zinc. Oops, it's really bad. Underline of zinc. Zinc is a nonmetal in our bodies. Copper. Our bodies use some metals as like vitamins and minerals that help us to survive and do some of the functions that our body has. But most of the time, we're made of nonmetals. Okay, and nonmetals are found on the periodic table. They're all this green stuff right here. Okay, so all of this is nonmetals. And then also there's hydrogen is considered a nonmetal. Yeah, hydrogen is just kind of over there by itself, but it's also a nonmetal. I don't know. There's no easy way to explain that. It just happens to be over there, but it's definitely a nonmetal. So you'll notice that one of the cool things about the periodic table is that elements that are similar like to group together. So all the nonmetals are over here instead of scattered all over the place, right? And that's one of the great things that Dmitry Mendeleev sort of figured out when he was making the periodic table back in the day. So nonmetals have a couple of important characteristics. They're usually solid or gas at room temperature. At room temp. These nonmetals right here, you don't need to know this, but it's just interesting. These are called the noble gases. And those are all gases at room temperature, like neon. You've heard of neon signs before. Neon is a nonmetal. But everything else is a solid at room temperature. I guess hydrogen is, oops, we do that. Hydrogen's a gas, and so is oxygen. So, but anyways, this column right here, this group, as you learned, those are all gases. They're called noble gases. They are bad conductors of electricity. They're usually kind of dull. Instead of shiny, they're dull. So I guess we should explain what bad conductors of electricity means. So that means like we don't make wires out of nonmetals. You know how you have copper wire in your house, or there's other types of wires that are made of metal? That's because electricity can flow through metal, but it can't flow through nonmetals. In fact, wires are covered in like rubber, right? And that's because rubber is made of nonmetals, and so electricity can't flow through it. Okay. They're also brittle. Brittle means they can snap easily. Like a pencil, you can snap it instead of it bending easily. It's because it's brittle. And then there was one more. Oh, they are not malleable. They are not malleable. We're going to put a big X through that. Malleable means you can bend them. So for instance, let's pick a metal here. Iron. Iron is really hard to bend, but if you put enough force and you get iron hot enough, you can bend it into all sorts of interesting shapes and stuff. But nonmetals you can't do that with. It means they don't bend very easily. Okay? So there you go. There's a little definition of nonmetals.